Hey there.
Harley.
Hello, Harley.
Hi,
Hey.
Carol.
Hi, Carol.
Hey.
Hi, Mike.
Hello,
Hey.
Sue.
Hi, Terry.
Hello. You look great. You look great.
Hi, Jean and Jerry.
Hi, how are you, Virginia?
Virginia, blessing.
Doing fine, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah.
Good.
Good.
So, where's, oh, there's Carol. Morning, Carol.
Hi, Terry.
Morning, Carol.
Ah,
Michael. Hi.
Good morning, Louise.
Good morning.
Morning. Good morning, Sue.
Hi.
I'm looking forward to hearing.
Hi, Terry Tyke. Nice to see you.
Terry,
Hi.
Mike, I haven't seen you in ages.
Yeah, it's been ages. Here, we'll turn some light on. Hey, Terry.
So, Terry, are you in Florida or are you back in Duluth?
I'm back in Duluth.
Not in your,
No, I sold it last year.
that's what I thought. Yeah. So where are you living now?
Out in Gary.
Oh,
Ah,
really?
Good.
Good for you. I'm glad you're back.
Right.
Stop and see us sometime.
I'll do that.
Do that, right? We're usually home.
Very good.
Yeah, nice to see you here. Thank
Good, Carol. I see. We're all,
Guys,
We got here.
Hi, everybody.
Oh.
yeah. The buds in the trees are opening now. Yes.
What was your temperature in Duluth yesterday?
70.
83.
83, yes.
88 here up by Kent.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, and today it's only in the 40s.
Right.
Without running today, and it's cold.
It's cold.
The cedar wax wings went through yesterday
Oh, really?
from from going to Canada where they breed.
Yeah.
For goodness sake.
What do they, are they gone now?
But they might still be here. They came in yesterday, so they might still be around, but it's a short term. They're just here and eat the berries, any berries off the trees, and a lot of water. They like a lot of water. But yeah, I love them. It's so exciting when they come through.
Oh, I can only imagine.
Because they come in
Wow.
a big flock and they're just fluttering all over the place, and
Oh.
they're
Wow.
Jonquils,
Canada.
Ah,
the jonquils have left here. They were here for quite a while now. The
Oh,
jonquils.
yeah. We still have some jonquils here in our yard, but yeah, they go in the summer. Hi, Pat. How are
Hi.
you?
Good.
Good.
And you? How are you? Good to see
Yeah,
you.
good. You too.
Just got back from South Padre and saw the birds out there. It's some of the best birding in the world out there.
I know.
You stop there on the way up north. They just automatically up there and go. I was able to see a warbler and a tanager and little blue bunting.
Yeah. Wow.
It's awesome.
Do you
Yeah.
take pictures? Do you take pictures of them?
No, I don't. But I have a magazine from a really good magazine from South Padre that the Bureau of Commerce puts out, and I studied it and was able to identify birds with it.
Oh,
Oh.
great.
Good. Cool.
So are you formally a birder, keeping a list and so on?
I'm a birder. I just I start memorizing the birds. I don't really keep a list, and a lot of people National Geographic bird book out there.
Yeah. Right.
So how long were you there, South Padre?
For a week.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, we had some really nice weather. It's really breezy out there. Kind of like Lake Superior, you never know. We had some really nice weather and then it rained and it was really windy.
I was there last couple of years ago and it was really quite windy there. Even though the weather was okay, but
How's Florida, Harley?
it was hot.
When are you
We're
gonna come back?
85 to 90, you know.
Oh. Got that yesterday.
Not quite as humid though, so it's not too bad, but
Harley, Sun Country is gonna start flying out of Duluth to Fort Myers in December.
oh,
Wow.
Yeah. And also to Phoenix. I don't know where in Phoenix, but
what,
Fort Myers,
what airline was that?
Sun Country.
Sun Country.
Yeah, it's out of Minneapolis. It's
Yeah.
like a vacation airline. It,
I use Sun Country regularly.
yeah,
Stop to Phoenix out of Minneapolis.
Yeah.
flight, nice airline.
I take Sun Country to Belize because it's like a direct flight from Minneapolis to Belize City.
Right.
And it's a lot less expensive than all the other carriers.
Yeah.
Oh,
At a fare as low as $39 to Phoenix.
Wow.
Good
wow.
friend who was a flight attendant there and who took a retirement package when the COVID hit and they had to downsize. So he was one of the people who retired a little bit earlier than he planned, but he's done.
Wow.
And I see Lisa, Siri, are you guys headed back this week, Lisa?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Ah, okay. I think it'll be closer to the 11th. We had to extend the stay a bit to take care of a few other things here before we head out.
Hmm.
And then are you here for this? Are you in Duluth for the summer?
Yes, yes.
Cool.
I actually will be closing on a house down the way. For those of you who know Tiger, it's about 5 doors down from her on Melrose on Cinco de Mayo, and then another place June 1 on Crescent View. So I've got 2 big projects to keep me busy this summer.
I guess so.
Is one of those a house that you'll be moving into?
It's up for debate. I can't tell you yet. I do not know. Probably not this summer in the midst of everything else.
Lisa, why can't I see you?
I don't have my video on right now. I'm not publicly consumable.
You're not what?
I'm not up for public consumption this morning.
Put some clothes on.
Well, I had my robe one Sunday. Well, Zoom.
Buddy, I just want to say welcome to Lake Superior Interfaith Community Church Zoom service. It's so awesome with everybody here and our conversations, and it's just like
Yeah.
away from home and being at home. So it's all cool.
Yeah.
So it's going on 20 to 11. So I'm just going to start by saying this prayer I love. I give thanks to Mother, Father, God for bringing us all together as we support each other. And then knowing we are directed and supported through the love and power of God. So I love that. And I want to thank Sue Brewer for being our speaker for today. It's so awesome. Thank you, Sue. I'm excited. The next thing would be the statement of intent. Going from in order here. That this would say, it says, we are fortunate to have a variety of speakers for Sunday services. And by using guest speakers, we gain wisdom from all those who share. This is a church where we can worship the God of our own understanding and a place to experience joy and be uplifted. A place where we can gain strength and inspiration to share with all we meet throughout the week. And we invite you to join us in the celebration of life to nourish your spirit and to enjoy the company of kindred souls. So before we mute ourselves, I see lots of you have, are there any announcements anybody would like to share?
Yeah. we need prayers for our niece Jeannie. She's had COVID for 3 months and it's affecting her lungs right now. And they had to, one of her lungs collapsed. So she's back in intensive care. And it's been 3 months. Doesn't sound very good. She's will be 60 in October.
Where is she, Jean?
She lives in the DC area.
Okay.
Virginia is where she lives, right around DC.
Who is this again?
Telling
So-
us.
Our prayers.
that.
Anybody else have any prayer requests or announcements before we continue? It's like time. Okay, then we can mute ourselves if you like. I see most staff. I would like to say our principles, that we believe in infinite intelligence, and we believe that the phenomena of nature, both physical and spiritual, are the expression of infinite intelligence. And we affirm that a correct understanding of such expression and living in accordance therewith constitute true religion. We affirm the existence and identity of the individual continued after the change called death. We believe in our universal connection in spirit, that there is communication between the spiritual and physical worlds. We believe the highest morality is contained in the golden rule: whatsoever you would that others should do unto you, do ye also unto them. And we affirm the moral responsibility of individuals, and that we make our own happiness or unhappiness as we obey or disobey nature's physical and spiritual laws. And we affirm that the doorway to reformation is never closed against any human soul here or hereafter. We affirm that the precepts of prophecy and healing are divine attributes contained in all sacred texts. And I'm going to mute myself. And Sue, would you like to do a meditation? We didn't even talk.
I know, yes, I'm going to do a meditation.
All right, I'm going on mute. And thank you, Sue. Okay.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. It's good to see everybody. It's just so much fun to be able to, at least connect somehow. As you may have read or not have read in Carol's email, that my topic is come what may. So coming what may be cats. You may see them. One of them was just here a minute ago. So don't be alarmed. They'll just roam around and meander through. So that's part of what having cats is all about. They just come whenever they want to. Okay. So anyway, I really hope that we, I really hope I have something important to say, because I've been working lately, and that's part of my story. But anyway, so let's get comfortable together. Let's sit back and relax. Let's take some nice deep breaths and breathe deep down into your soul, and just take a nice deep belly breath. Let it out nice and slow. Take a few more nice deep breaths. And as you're thinking about nothing, in the back of your mind, as you're deep breathing, breathe in acceptance of what is, and breathe out gratefulness for being able to accept what is. We need on a regular basis to be able to accept what is, whether it be in other people or the situation. We need to accept it. It doesn't mean we have to like it, but we have to learn to accept it and figure out how to move through it. So take another deep breath. And continue to breathe deeply, and to think about, in the back of your mind, how this past year has been. We have gone through all kinds of strange and yet wonderful things, as well as some not so wonderful things, but everything happens for a reason that we may or may not know. And as we breathe in the whole last year, accepting it, let's breathe it out with the idea that we can move on and move through the experiences, learn through the experiences, be part of the experiences, and yet still be ourselves. Take a nice deep breath in and breathe out anything that no longer serves you that you may have learned about over the past year. Take a nice deep breath in and breathe out. Breathe deeply and smoothly and carefully for yourself. And think about the fact that yesterday was May Day, and it's the first day of a new month, and it's the first day of a new day, to think about all the wonderful things that we can move to and move away from some of the things that we don't want to see again. We can live through things that we thought we would never have to experience. And we have come through on this side and are still moving through and can continue to move through. We are strong. We have faith. We have people and places and things that can support us throughout this journey. Breathe deeply and slowly and remind yourself of how strong you really are. Take a nice deep breath in and breathe out anything which no longer serves you. One more nice deep breath. Think on all of the things you were able to let go of this year that no longer serve you. As you gratefully and graciously let go of these things that no longer serve you and find deep inside of you the strength that you have needed over the past year, year and a half, to grow and to become more deeply involved with who you are inside, the God inside of you, the presence of the universe, whatever you want to call it. Think about the strength you've gained over this past year and let that become your Mayflower, so to speak, that you have planted those seeds and have now started to let them grow and grow and grow. One nice deep breath in and see that beautiful flower garden blossoming within you to take you through and make a beautiful, beautiful day. Take a nice deep breath in and come back to this time and place and space. Nice deep breaths. If you had closed your eyes, you can wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. And gently at your own pace, open your eyes and come back to this time and place and space. I hope everybody's back. Over the past few years, many of you know that a group of us have been studying different books written by Unity people or people who are well read by Unity people. And so it's no surprise that part of what I'm going to talk about today comes from the book that we're recently reading called The Sermon on the Mount. I don't know if this is backwards or not, but it's from Emmett Fox. And last Sunday, we read through a section that made me think a lot. It gave me deep pause and made me think about how I am and how I react in certain situations especially when I'm driving on the road. Everybody has a story about somebody who cut them off, or who did some kind of stupid move, or who doesn't use their blinker, right? And it's one of those things where we sit in our car and we react. And I don't react well a lot of the time. I react negatively. And as I mentioned to my group mates last Sunday, that my dashboard has an inferiority complex from the number of times that I have flipped it off. Because I don't want to put it above the dashboard so people can actually see it. I want it, but I do it, you know. So that's not a very good reaction, and I know what's happening, and yet it seems to be one of those things that I need to learn how to control, because I've been having a problem with it. And so when I start to think about, okay, well, maybe that person's in a hurry, or maybe that person is on their way to pick up a loved one who's ill, I recognize that there are some other factors involved as to why this person may or may not have just cut me off, or may have done a crazy move on the road, or is doing something that I deem to be dangerous, like driving 60 miles an hour on an ice-covered road right next to me. And I wonder sometimes at the human spirit as to what makes them do that. Why are they? What is going on with that? And then I have to sit back and take a deep breath and remember, I don't need to stress myself out. I don't need to do that. I need to stop. I need to think, and I need to breathe, so I don't just have an automatic reaction, because things are going to happen. People are not going to be as gracious as they could be. Other things are going to happen. They're not thinking about what they're doing. They're not looking to see what's around them. They're not physically, emotionally, mentally on the same page as other people around them. So my reactions have to change. I have to change my reactions. And part of what I've been thinking about all week when we read this chapter last week is that I need to be above that reactionary person. I need to work at being less reactionary and more understanding. It's not that easy. It sounds easy, but it's not that easy. And one of the things that we talked about in the chapter last week was having to sacrifice certain things. And when you are so used to doing a particular thing, like reacting to a situation on the road or wherever it may be, that's a inborn, deeply rooted like habit that you need to get rid of. And what we talked about is that we have to sacrifice some things in life to make ourselves a better human being, to be higher up on the spiritual ladder, if you want to call it so. So it talks about sacrifice, and it says sacrifice there has to be, but it is only sacrifice of the things that one is much happier without. Never anything that is really worth having. And he goes on to tell us that the things one has to sacrifice are selfishness, fear, and belief in necessary limitation of any kind. Above all, one has to sacrifice the belief that there is any power or endurance in evil apart from the power that we ourselves give it by believing in it. And if any of you have ever done any Unity stuff with us, we talk about that evil does not have any power if we don't give it power. Yes, people do evil things. People say evil things. People react with evil words. And it does exist, but it only, the power evil has only exists if we give it to it. So the less power we give in to evil, the less power it has. And so when we start to think about true sacrifice, or not really sacrificing, I mean, if you unless you really groove on selfishness, fear, and the belief in necessary limitation, we are unlimited beings. We have the unlimited powers to move forward and to be better in our spirit, on our spiritual path, be higher on the spiritual ladder, whatever you want to call it. And so it is one of those things that we have to truly evaluate in ourselves. It is only things not worth having that would disappear under the action of truth. And I've been working on it and thinking about it and trying to, as we talked about last week, some of you will remember, we talked about remembering who we are, remembering where we are and how we want to be. And come what may, come what may. Oh, we've been through a year or more of a pandemic. Come what may, we've persevered, we've soldiered through, we've sacrificed certain things so that in the future we can be in a better situation. We have sacrificed personal meetings with people. We have sacrificed church service so we can feel safer by finding out what the best course of action is. So we can move forward through what seemed to be an overwhelmingly unsurmountable thing and have moved forward. Now, for myself, I feel I have truly transformed over this past year. Physically, emotionally, spiritually, personally, I have changed my physical appearance by 70 pounds. I have changed my mental health by getting out there and walking, changing the way I eat, fixing things that need to be fixed around the house. Yes, there were many, many times over the past year where I was lonely. But who's lonely when you got cats around to kind of cuddle with you, right? Okay, but there are times when you have this overwhelming fear of dread. When George Floyd was tragically murdered and the riots came to Duluth, people were throwing things and burning things and kicking people and shoving people and hurting people and hurting personal property. At one point, the people who were rioting were 6 blocks from my house. And they were down on 4th Street and 6th Avenue East at that gas station, throwing rocks at the windows and looting it. They traveled up Central Entrance onto going up towards the mall. They were going to do something at the mall, which never happened, I guess. But with that traveling, that direction that they traveled, they were 3 blocks from my house. I was petrified. Not because I thought that I wasn't sure if I was in danger or not. Down in the Twin Cities, people were being, it was mass chaos. I was petrified that that would happen here. But then I sat back and I thought, I can't let that fear overtake me. I literally had to stop watching television. I had to, because it was all over the news. You could not watch TV or you couldn't even look at Facebook without there being a link to what was happening now. And it was like, oh my God. So I had to shut off all the media. I had to turn off all the lights. I had to crawl into bed, and I listened to a guided meditation and listened and listened and listened and found myself releasing that fear. They may never have come into my neighborhood. So what was I afraid of? If it happened, it happened. Come what may, I will live through this. I will move forward. If I don't, then that was meant to be too. So what am I so afraid? What was I so afraid of? I was afraid of everything. And that fear was only heightened and mongered by the people who were on the news and the people all around and everything you were watching and everything you were seeing. I had to just stop the nonsense. So I did sacrifice fear that day. I said, no more. I'm not going to be afraid. I'm not going to say I'm not going to be afraid of things. It doesn't mean I'm not going to worry about things. It just means that I can recognize it now and stop the worrying and the feelings of dread sooner, before it starts to eat the insides of my stomach out. So come what may. Now, when you think about the reason why I chose this topic is that it's got multi-layers, come what may. We have been through what may be. We have lived through something we never thought would may be, but we did. But now let's change the punctuation a little bit. Come what may. Oh, yeah, May's here. So, okay, May came. Come what, May? Yeah, we may have May. And May, the old saying, of course, we all laugh about today is that April showers bring May flowers. Now, that's not usually true in Duluth because we usually have more snow in April than we did this year. So we don't count on April showers. We don't count on May flowers, but it's here. And we did live through April with very little bit of snow. And so we may actually get the May flowers this year. So come what, May? Bring our flowers. That's another reason to think about come what may. Come, what may. Okay, what may? What may come? What may come? What may come is we may have church services in the church again. It sounds like Phyllis's relative was able to go to church with people again. We are looking forward to being able to bring church back, or service back into the church. We are looking forward to making it a combination of things so that we can do both Zoom and in-person service for people who want to be there or feel comfortable enough to be there. So yeah, we're working on things like that. Other churches are doing the same thing. They're looking into what should and can be done to make it safe to be where we want to be. Come, what may? What may? Well, most of you know my history, a little bit of my history, that I worked at a restaurant out in West Duluth until the end of August of 2019. I decided that the shortage of hours and the different things that were going on no longer served me, and I was done. So I thought, okay, well, I'm going to take a break. So I took the break. And then I thought, okay, well, at the beginning of the year, I'll start looking for another little small, lovely part-time job. Well, and then I put that off. And then all of a sudden, bam, COVID hit. And I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm not going to be able to find a job for a while. And yet I was still thinking about it. What could I do? Something just to make some money and to enjoy it. And then, of course, what do? The first things we do is we think about, okay, well, I don't want this and I don't want that. I don't want this thing to go on and I don't want that thing to go on. I don't want. Well, as we have talked in other times before, I've heard this over and over again at the church, thinking about what we don't want is just going to bring that about. And I found it harder to figure out what do I want? I knew a few things. And this is really some dumb, simple things. I know I'm judging myself. I know, sorry. I wanted to be able to wear a t-shirt and blue jeans and my tenors. Comfortable clothes. I want to wear comfortable clothes. I want to be happy and comfortable. I wanted to wear, I have a t-shirt that has a bright sunshine on it, and I wanted to be able to wear that to work. Well, I couldn't do that at the sheriff's office. I couldn't do that at the restaurant. There are not a whole lot of places where they allow you to be in blue jeans and a t-shirt. So as I'm thinking to myself, I want to be comfortable at work. In the back of my mind, that sick, sad, sorry voice is going, good luck, honey, good luck. Well, other thing I wanted was flexibility. I want flexibility. I want to be able to not work too much and yet work enough to make some money. I mean, if I only work a couple of hours a week, that's not going to bring in a whole lot of money. Not that I don't want to be a millionaire. I just want to make some money. I want to be able to pay my bills, buy my food, the gas in my car, and I want, and and a little fun money. Okay, that kind of stuff. Because I've got some investments going on. I could always add to that investment. That would be nice. Those are things I wanted. A few other things I thought I would want would be, oh, let's see, I want to be able to talk to people. I want to be able to share with people. I want to be able to help people find what they're looking for. Or I want to be able to tell people where to find Glen Sheen Mansion if they needed to find it. Or, you know, just stuff like that. You know, maybe promote Duluth a little bit. Maybe I can get on to Duluth and, you know, help promote the tourist attractions, because I love Duluth. This is my hometown. I was born and raised here. I moved away twice and came back. So, and I have a condo in Belize, but I keep coming home, even though people keep telling me I'm crazy. The weather's better in Belize. It's beautiful there. It's a paradise. Yeah, I keep coming back to the snow and the cold and all that fun stuff. But but I thought, okay, well, maybe I want to promote Duluth. Maybe that's something I want to do. Let's put that on that list of things I want. Well, over the course of a year, you know, you start to begin to think, oh man, you know, and that little gut feeling is like, geez, you know, I'm thinking about what I want, but I really don't know what I want. I don't know what I want to do. I want to be of service to people, but I don't want to work at McDonald's but then I'm getting back to the I don't want, and I have to go, okay, turn it around, Sue, turn it around, come what may, and let's make it a positive thing. Let's bring it in to a positive. And the other day, well, it was a while back now, but I was chatting with my tax accountant. I brought my paperwork down and I was telling her, yeah, you know, I'd really like to get a little job, just a little job. I don't even know what I want to do. And just, you know, I don't even know what I want to do. I don't know what I want. You know, a few little things, but silly. T-shirt and jeans, come on. And she turned to me and she says, I know a guy. I'm like, okay. So she gives me this man's number and I call the number and I dug through some papers and found a resume, an updated resume. And he says, can you come down at 2:30 to 3 o'clock? I said, sure. So I went down there. Beautiful day, sunshine. I had my resume in hand. I walked up to this man. He actually stuck out his hand and we shook hands. And I said, hi, my name's Sue. And he says, I'm Simon. And this is where I shop. Come on in. He hired me on the spot. Didn't even look at my resume. Didn't ask me to fill out an application. He says, can you start tomorrow? Oh, well, yeah, I guess so. Yes, it's working at a tourist shop. Yes, it's working folding T-shirts all day and sweatshirts and helping, you know, talking to people about, you know, this shirt or that shirt, or help me get that shirt off the wall, blah, blah, blah. Yes, it's in a retail setting. However, you know, and I've been in retail before and I didn't think I really wanted to be in retail again. but it's a fun little job. You know, I work a few days a week. He started me at a decent wage, more, you know, almost twice what I was making at the restaurant. Okay. And I can have as many hours as I want. I kind of hope I can get as few hours as I want. That's a discussion that needs to still happen. But it's like all of a sudden from one day to the next, in just talking to somebody about what I thought I wanted, boom, come what may, I got a job. Next day, I'm up and showered and dressed and ready to go, and I get out there and I'm gung ho, and the fun part is I'm working with a young fella. He's in his 20s, early 20s. He's a manager at the store already at this young age, but he is as sweet as can be. You know how some of those younger millennials are just rude. They, you know, they look at a person with gray hair and older and they think, oh, this person's not going to know anything, and especially new on the job. And they'll be rude and they'll say, well, don't do it that way. That's the wrong way to do it. Blah, blah, blah. And you'd say, well, instead of saying negatively, he says things like, here, let me show you how to do that right. I'm like, okay. And being so sweet and so gentle and so soft, as opposed to previous managers who were bitter and hard-edged and saying one thing and doing another. It's super refreshing. And I guess in the back of my mind, I knew that that's what I wanted, was a supervisor who was sweet and gentle, positive. Here, let me show you. Let me help you with that. We've been working together, and you know, if it's super busy, I'll grab a bag and he'll throw the clothes in. You know, he'll run the register and I'll do that. I've gotten so much more out of this little job in the last couple of 3 weeks, positive reinforcement, than I have at the last 2 jobs over the past 10 years. So that's something I wanted. I wanted positive people to work with. And I just had never put it into words or wrote it down on paper. I knew that's what I wanted. I may or may not stick with this job for you know, a period of time. I mean, if I don't like it, I can leave. That's the fun part, is that, dang, if it starts getting to the point where, no, this is not what I wanted anymore, I could either say, either this has to happen or I'm gone. I don't have to be in love with the job, but it is kind of fun. I get to talk to people from all over. People come in from Minneapolis and Alexandria. They come from Fargo, North Dakota, and a bunch of us have had conversations about the movie Fargo and how they talk in Fargo. Do we really talk like that? No. So come what may, I am just like, let's bring it on, baby. I want the universe to know, bring it on. I can handle it. If I can handle what we went through over the last year, I have the strength, I have the energy now that I've changed my physical body. My emotional body has grown because I'm beginning to draw some boundaries. Instead of just taking what I'm given, I'm going to start making I'm making boundary lines. And I feel like I could move further and further, and I can grow. I'm a Mayflower, even though I'm wearing black today. I'm a Mayflower, and I am growing in this May. I am a seed that has been planted and it's been germinating for years. I think I'm one of those rare flowers that takes forever to bloom. Okay, so here I am, world. Come what may, I hope all of you feel the same way, because we have lived through a strange and wonderful year. Weird, sad, grieving, anger, resentment, riots, but we've persevered and we've moved forward. We have changed. We have grown emotionally, physically, spiritually, and mentally. We have grown, and as much as I feel that I've grown, I know everyone else is growing in the same way, because I feel like I'm not as high up on the spiritual ladder as some of the other people that I can see today. I know some of you are way higher on that ladder, and I'm working to achieve that. And part of what Emmett had to say about that was, oops, wrong direction. To pray scientifically is to keep affirming that God is helping, that the temptation has no power against us, and consistently to claim that his own real nature is spiritual and perfect. What it does require is honest, genuine striving for that perfection. It's not the perfection itself, it's the striving for that perfection. None of us are going to reach that pinnacle peak necessarily. Maybe some people will, but the striving keeps us moving forward or up the ladder, or however you want to metaphorize it. So let's keep on striving. Let's keep on growing. Let's become Mayflowers and make this world an even more beautiful place. Let's become May. We are May. Let's come what may. All right. So thanks for listening. Thanks for listening to my babble. I appreciate every single one of you in love and peace and God and spiritual growth. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Sue, for sharing. What a beautiful message for all of us. Just keep our thoughts just high and in gratitude and gratefulness every day. Thank you, Sue. That was so awesome. I would like to say, thank you all too for your amazing gifts to the church, and in deepest gratitude. So, just the mailbox is locked, as you all know, so everything's safe. I'm there almost every day. You continue to send your donations to your gifts to 1414 East 9th Street, Duluth 55805. So now I would like to say the church affirmation. We totally accept the belief that God is in charge of the affairs and direction of Lake Superior Interfaith Community Church. And we know that as our thoughts of trust and joyful anticipation join in harmony with the thoughts of all the members of this fellowship, we attract the right ministerial leadership to our spiritual community, and we are grateful. Yeah. So, Sue, did you want to do the benediction, or do you want me to do the prayer for protection and unity one?
Prayer for protection, please, my dear.
All right, here it is, ladies and gentlemen. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and we are grateful.
Well,
If you'd like to unmute everybody, if you want to chat for a while, whatever, go with the flow. I love this church. We can be who we are. Yay!
Carol Condrath, where is she on today?
I don't see her. No, where is she? Where is she? I have to give her a call.
I was hoping she'd have a picture for me.
Here pretty much every Sunday. That's why I'm surprised. So, yeah. Jerry, you want to unmute? You look like you're going to say something.
Okay. It's nice to see nature changing here. We're looking at the trees, and the trees are budding out now. And nature is telling us to also come out with ourselves and be the spirit that we are, to share with each other. And what a great talk we just had for everyone. So with that beautiful time of sharing again with each other, share we are with the love and peace we've always been.
Yay.
Thank you.
You,
Thank
Jerry.
Sue, I just want to thank you. Sue, thank you.
Oh,
for your
yeah.
talk.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
My gosh.
You've had
Look
quite a
wonderful.
trip this past year.
Oh, so many changes, so much transformation. I'm just,
You're looking terrific.
thank you. Feeling good.
Hey, Jill, did you want to say something? I see your hand has gone up a couple of times.
I was just waving.
Oh.
Hi, Jill.
Hi, Jim.
Yeah, okay.
Are you still getting messages, Jill?
What?
Are you still getting messages?
Well, I do, but I haven't tried to get messages for the church.
Okay.
Anybody else?
And Jill, how are you doing? Are you recovering?
I am. It feels slow sometimes, but I am recovering. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good.
I have to be patient. That's my lesson.
I think it's all of our lessons, Jill.
I-
Hi, Debbie Prohaska. Guitar.
Hey.
We are actually moving back to Duluth ourselves. So we bought a house in Woodland. So
Oh,
we're coming from Colorado. We'll be there at the end of May. So we're
wow.
excited. Nice to know.
Oh,
It's nice.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
We were there in March for 2 weeks while we closed, and I forgot what it's like not to see the sun for several days at a time, especially coming from Colorado where we have sun quite a bit. But
Oh, yeah.
yep. Do you guys have any plans for opening the church up, or do you?
I
Is it
have
in
plans.
discussion?
I
You
have,
have a plan.
I am visualizing June because
Good.
I am visualizing, with masks and 6-foot distancing, no food downstairs because we can't. I mean, there's a kitchen. How do people stay out of the kitchen? So you
Yeah.
know what I mean. We can, do something else. But anyway, I'm working and visualizing us having Zoom in the church where people who don't have computers, whatever, can actually come there safely, and that we can do our services from there, from the church, but anybody can see, Minneapolis, whatever. I am really holding the vision for June. You
Good.
know what?
Okay.
You know what really prompted the month of June is Mr. Harley Blake said, "I'm going to be there in June," and I'm like, "We have to open that place for Harley for sure."
Yeah, yeah.
Good.
Are we gonna be able to hug then?
No, I don't think so. But it's on your own. You're on your own.
Oh, that's
And
one of
then
the
there's
best
our
parts.
wonderful Mark Carlson, so he can actually come to the building because he hasn't seen anything at all in a whole year. Here, I need to call him. So I'm really feeling this excitement that somehow, we're gonna make it work.
Good.
Could, I wonder if we could design some kind of signal that we don't want to hug or we're willing to hug, so
Yeah.
that people could invite hugs and or stand back and say they're not comfortable hugging, so that we're not too awkward with it. We have some kind of indicator.
Right.
Ah,
So I think
Well, we could always just ask, would you
we-
like a hug?
Yeah.
Simple. Just simple.
But you know how it goes.
Yeah,
we-
I know.
We get into a group and we just rush in to hug. It's comfortable for everybody.
Most people down here are vaccinated, at least the people that I run into. How are you doing up there? Are vaccinations occurring up there?
Uh-huh.
I think they're really well.
Yeah.
Really good. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, by this time, anybody should be able to get one that wants it.
Yeah.
Well, almost. My son is in his 50s. My baby is in his mid 50s. And he's in a rotation with his health group, and he hasn't been called up yet. So his 17-year-old daughter can get a shot, but he hasn't been able to yet. So it isn't across the board as easy as it might sound.
Okay, I guess in Florida, they've opened it up to everybody. You can
Uh,
Yeah.
go
I
anywhere
think
else.
it may have changed now with May.
Well,
Well,
it should
with-
be.
yeah.
They got
With-
plenty of shots, so they should be able to do that.
Yeah,
Right, and the age of our community is quite mostly into the age that was given the vaccine first. So a lot
Uh-huh.
of that could play into our favor if those people chose to be vaccinated.
yep.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we're fortunate to be vaccinated.
Yeah.
One advantage to an aging church.
Exactly. Yep.
Yes. Share with light and love and peace and joy.
Indeed.
Yes.
And to you as well, Jerry and Jean.
Okay. There you
Yeah.
go, fellas.
Thanks for letting us know about your niece. We'll certainly keep her in our prayers.
Thank you very much. She needs it. Mhm.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
And,
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Happy
Thank you.
May.
May.
Good to see you.
Happy-
Happy May.
Hi, everybody. Have a good week.